Hello, hello. All right. So tonight we're on YouTube and TikTok. So if you see me talking in this direction, I'm probably talking to TikTok people. If you see me talking in this direction, I'm talking to YouTube people. I'll make a list. So if anybody wants, huh? Yeah. Um, so if anybody wants a chart reading, then you just want to flag me down. Hello, hello. Thanks for I see you. I spy my little eye. Come on in, come on in. So you get to choose between the gene keys, astrology, or human design chart. And if you want to bless me, you can send it on Cash App or PayPal, whatever floats your boat. Can even get out of the way of the sticker. Mhm. So I have this one. Oh, let me get my notes. Mhm. Probably more people on that night, huh? Because before people would come in automatically almost. I know there's like that little waiting room thing where people are like deciding. It's deciding whether or not they come in. I wonder if it counts. There's one's watching here. I think that's me because I have to do my little comments in the chat. I like the share links are getting longer. Put up a chart. Hello. Thanks for joining. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Zaytona. Hello, hello. Say hello. Hey, Reem. Sahad. So tonight we're on YouTube and TikTok. Encourage your viewers to share. Okay, if you'd like to share, I haven't said anything yet. But yeah, like we're doing charts tonight. So if you're interested, just let me know which one you want. If you want G keys, astrology, or human design, area of life you're interested in learning about. If you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat. Like, so, if you're more familiar with one but not with another, or you're curious, I can just bring something up to explain, talk about what you can learn from different charts. Hey, Karina, thanks for joining. Hey, Melissa. Hey, the transformation. Hey, Lisa Storer. Hey, Casey. So I just want to pop it in the comments if you're interested, if you have any questions. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Marie. I'll follow people that drop in for a chat. If you want to just say hi, that's fine. Fill up your profile, do a follow back. So now I finally can do a flippy. Let's practice that. Just a flippy.
Oh, you're allowed to now? It lets you in?
Yeah, that's me flip. Oh, no, maybe not. Yeah.
Episode twice, 3 hours of podcast. Not my favorite.
What?
Just the 3 hours of podcast.
Oh. No, hello. Mm. Mm. Man, doesn't work. I did it earlier. That's so weird. Trying to flip my camera around, so I want to be able to show you on the computers, but I guess it still won't let me. Guess I gotta wait. I gotta wait. I gotta wait. In the meantime, though, I can bring up little pictures. I can do that. And then, or I can just read it to you. Most people don't know how to read the chart anyways. It's mostly it's like a visual aid. It just helps it for the visual people. Hello, hello. Are you interested in astrology? Do you like it? You not like it? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it? Astrology is faultless. Prove me wrong. So what should I say? It's not true. It's also, I don't know. I like it for pattern reading, so I like to kind of see what it's telling me in patterns, but I'm not huge on wanting it to foretell your future prediction style things. More interested in archetypes, how life works, how manifestation works, how creation works. That's what I learned from charts. What I like to share. Say hello, say hello. Invite you back if you You want to give a little pop, 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 pop. We're going to give some love. I appreciate it. Whatever you are up for. I'm on TikTok and YouTube tonight, folks. So what we have on the YouTube side is at Monifa Harris if you want to find me on YouTube. And we have a chart. So I was going to talk a little bit about the Western chart until we get a taker on the readings. So readings are available, folks. They are free. Of course, if you do a donation, you go to the top of the list, and that really helps us out. I'm a solopreneur trying to get some extra assets in my business. So every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. So let's look a little bit at the Western chart. If you have any questions, let me know. Or if you are interested in a different chart. So what we have available, let's see if I can change the screen in a way that y'all would see. For you, if I change the screen to speaker, what does that do for you? I'm curious. So, um, so we have Western astrology, we have gene keys, we have human design. I kind of pick them up as I need. When I'm doing like a full reading, I'm using all of them because there's things on others, one that's not on the others, and they all have kind of fast ways to view specific things. So I like to know what I'm going in for and then look for it. So if you have any questions, like what would we look for in a transit, or why I think yes, astrology is useful, like what's the point? What's the point? Maybe. Hey, Doreen. Hey, I can. Or it can. It can. What? Train all the. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Renee. Hey, Hope. Hey, Lehigh. Ooh, Lehigh. Like Lehigh Acres? I grew up in Florida. Hi, Pamela. So, if you have any questions for me, I can speak directly to the questions. So, I was saying if I changed the view, if it would change anything for you guys. It looks like that's a no. And that looks like a no. Hi, Christina. Hey, Lehigh, you still here? I don't think so. I don't know why it does that. It like sticks people down there. Maybe y'all are watching on the other side. Hey, Nita. So what I love about a Western astrology chart is that it breaks things down. You can just look at specific houses for different areas of your life. It's always the best starting place because pretty much every astrology has components of the planets in it, and Western astrology is kind of the baseline for understanding the planets and the reflections on all 12, right? So the 12 houses reflect the 12 planets, reflect the 12 signs. And they all kind of are layered on top of each other. And so we get little, it's kind of like you can make a lot of things with some eggs, some flour, some water or milk, right? You can make a whole lot of different things. So it's just a matter of how they come together. If you're using a little bit more of one than the other, and all of it's based on the elements. So it's a little alchemy, a little chemistry, a little nature, nature creative. I don't know. Is that what? It's a little bit environmental ecology. Hi, hi, hi. I do think of manifestation as an economy of creation, which is all, what nature does. It creates. And that's what humans do. We create. And we just do it more intentionally, consciously, with awareness, with ego, with drama. We create with extra sauce, give the people something to stare at, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I like about Western astrology. Is that it's pretty straightforward and you can like be like, oh, how am I doing? What's happening with the transits and how it's affecting the way I am seen in the world? And then you just look at the first house, right? And it's there. Or I can look and see, those are the different houses. The second house is more about money, finances, what's sustainable, what we want over the long term, what's valuable to us all the time, right? So each of them give us a flavor. And so when you're just going and say, like, you know what, I want to know about my career, we're going to automatically check out your 10th house. We're going to check out maybe your seventh house, depending on if you're doing like a business. Because business and partnership, those are pretty tight. So even fifth and seventh house can tell you about your business or your relationships, but they're going to probably go to five and seven for relationships too. Um, Third house, it's more about how you communicate, it's how you think, it's about what's on your mind, it's about what you need to speak up, talk about, communicate to others, help others understand about you. You know what I'm saying? So if you are putting in the form, please let me know in the chat, and that way I can go there and check it out. Otherwise, I'm clicking on a lot of different pages right now, and I might forget to click on one. Um, if you don't let me know, you sent something over. Okay. So I'm coming back to my screens. Um, so what we're on third house, fourth house is usually home. It's about your house, about what you it can be about where you live. It can be about family where you grew up. Can be reflective of essentially your nuclear family as well. So whether you're younger and that's parents or you're older and that's children, it's just like who's closest to you in your environment, essentially. And then the fifth house is, guess what? Is about creation. So it can also be children, but creativity, what's coming forth from thine spirit and soul. That's what we like to talk about. Hey, let me know if you want your chart done or say hi, and I can follow you for later if you're just dropping in. Dropping in, that's okay too. It says upgrade this form to have granular control over who can see and respond to it. Not that serious. Not that serious. Hey, 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 how you doing? So that's the fifth house. Sixth house is Virgo. Virgo is the correlation to the sixth house. So it's basically what we're doing day to day. It can be about your job. It can be about what's going on in your daily life. What are your habits? Health habits, health habits, even organizational habits like upkeep, cleaning house, type of that kind of thing. Seventh house is more about partnerships, what you are doing with others. And usually when it starts reflecting back to the other side, saying like what you do for yourself and how you see yourself and how you see yourself with others is the seventh house. So who you are with others. So that can really apply to business partnerships. It can apply to like relationships. And it can apply to endeavors, like if things that you do with others, like you and your editor. We got eighth house. Eighth house is more that deep internal work. It is the house of Scorpio, so it's that unseen. It's what is not easily seen on the surface. It's the more intimate nature. So getting into the nitty gritty, vulnerability, deep thoughts, right? Hey, my Mitch, nice to see ya. So yes, who wants to be a brave soul that gets their chart done? And then you just decide, do you want to do a gene key chart? Do you want to do astrology chart? Or do you want to do a human design chart? And then I'll just pull up that chart for you. Again, if you don't want to put your birth information out here, you can use the form. And that's on the YouTube channel. So let's see, let's finish this up. So we have ninth house is, it can be higher thought, higher education. It can be like how you think about God or universal spirit. It can be world travel or long distance travel, where you're learning from about things that are like further away from you, not obvious, not taught when you were a child, right? You learn them when you go out and abroad into new expansion. And then 10th house is for career. So it's how we are over time showing up in the world, is how we impact the world. Like how are we serving? How are we sharing? How people remember us? I do think of career that way. 11th house is community. So how are we acting in the community? It has a bit of Aquarian vibe. So are you thinking of the whole? Are you thinking of the group? Or are you just thinking about yourself? That can come up sometimes. And so, and it will check us sometimes when things are leaving Aquarius, like, what do I do? Might just have been a little too self-absorbed. It's easy to do nowadays, you know? So if it happens, it's just remembering, okay, did I consider my heart? If you think of your heart, if you really listen and not just consider it only when you're trying to like appease others or get love and all this kind of stuff, is usually how we're using the heart. Instead, we want to have it serve us as a whole. And so when we approach heart space with the connection of our ideas and what we're about, then what happens is that it's automatically in sync. It's in sync with what's best for everybody. That's what the heart space, what love will do. Okay. But if not, if we forget to consult that space, if we're not, or if we're trying to act only, and that's what codependence kind of looks like. If we're all acting only from the heart, then it can unbalance itself. That's usually where we're getting our patterns of codependence, trauma, all those things. You know what I'm saying? So the 12th house is the unseen. It's like, and it can be unseen, like unseen like big projects. So big projects don't always reveal all of themselves at once, right? They come in parts. So big projects, you might even not know yourself how something's going to come to fruition yet. Hey, Danielle, do I recognize you? I think I remember you from before. Hey, Danielle, say hi a second. If you're going to keep coming by, I might as well follow you. Um, So the 12th house can also be like our deeper thoughts, subconscious, our whole selves is another way to look at that, because most of our selves are not the conscious aspect of our understanding. So there's a bit of that. So that's a little bit about the Western chart for those who are brand new to astrology. You want to start there. Daryl was talking about that earlier. Oh, I haven't uploaded a video. I need to do that too. So let me know, guys. I want to do at least one chart before I head out. Um, and that, oh, I'm probably gonna head out in about an hour. So I would love to do a chart for you. It is free unless you want to be generous. I love generous people. I'm kidding. I do love generous people. But and you can also do it for free. So if you just want to put in your birth information, it's birth date, birthplace, time of birth, Those are the important elements. What do we have to do to get our charts ready? Essentially, you just have to use the form that's pinned to the top, or if you don't mind, putting your birth date, birthplace, location, and time of birth into the chat, then I can just go ahead and start. So yeah, who's first? Who's first? Whoever puts it in first, I'll get started. So this is somebody else's chart. I was just using it as an example. And then you let me know you want a human design. All right. So reflection. Your name is Deborah. I'm gonna pull that chart up for you. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Um, when I'm talking this way, it's to my TikTok people's double tasking. Double tasking. Here we go. Pulling it up right now. And do you know that, like, if you want to know something specific, what are you interested in knowing? Have you done a human design chart before? Yeah. Are you familiar? Do you know anything about Gene Keys? I use that sometimes to interpret words from human design. 282. Thanks for the heart. I appreciate that. Ba, 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 ba. So I'm just putting in the info into the little space. And let's see. And we're studying it's a lot of information. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. You have? I love Jinkies. It is my favorite. It is my favorite. Let's see, your PM. Let me fix that. So there we go. Got you in PM and Rochester. Mm. Mhm. Let's see if it'll do it. Oh, I didn't put the country in. I didn't put the country in. That's not useful. All right, there we go. So we have, let me make sure I did it right. 2:15 to 9:43 p.m. And I need uh, fabulous. And we'll look to add it together. So do you have anything you want to know like about the right now? What's going on in your life? It's loading. It's loading. Slowly, it's loading. Um, mm, 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 mm. And then I'm gonna take a picture so that you don't um, I can share the picture. There we go. There we go. We have, there we go. So this is a human design chart. So for those who haven't seen one before, we have a 3-5. Deborah is I'm guessing, yeah, an emotional manifesting generator, but usually 3-5s are. That's why I don't know what that's about. There are other ones. There are like I've seen 3-5 projectors, but they're a little more rare. Um, so yeah, so I love that. I'm a 3-5, so it's an easy kind of barometer on what energy looks like for you. So we have similar open centers too. You got that open head center, open ajna, and open will center. So you probably already know open head center. You got that pressure to think and figure things out, especially for other people. And open ajna, what's kind of useful about that is that for other people, is that when they ask us a question, we're almost like a little encyclopedia. Like we just kind of open up to the page that has the information they need. And we do that by gathering like all the information is readily available, but it's not as useful when you're by yourself and you're trying to get something done because like unless you're very clear on what you're doing before you start, like any information can apply to anything and anything can look interesting and anything right can be shiny and ooh, right. And in this now world of internets and ooh, there's so many pretty colors. Ooh, there's right? Like it's very easy to get distracted with open ajna. It's very easy. But we do have all of our power energy centers. So what projectors are usually jealous of in that manifesting generator is that we generate our own energy. We can kind of get ourselves going if we want to. And but same thing with everybody, we still have to know how to manage it because if not, we do things unsustainably, which is how we end up sick, which is how we end up tired, or we end up blowing up and yelling at people, right? So just because you're getting it done doesn't mean that you should be getting it done. Maybe you should rest just as much as a projector. It's just a matter of do you know yourself and do you know how much you can do? Hey, everybody. So that's one of the questions. It's like, what do you know about yourself? Let me see if you said you wanted to know anything specific. I'm gonna find the other window. See me go. Everything's shiny. The vibe right now. So let's look at, I did just pull the just now chart on Hovian. I like to pull up theirs. So you're living my energy right now. I just had a birthday yesterday. Um and join my fan club. I got a little fan club buddy on there. Um so that I'm looking now to see where that fills in for you on your chart, what's available for you. So we got 62. So that is giving you, oh, you already have 62. So what is that for you? 62 is your North Node. Ah, yay, North Node in Cancer. All right. I know because it's my sun sign. So what that's doing, basically you're good, right? And like some of the people I talk to, I mean, I listen to for astrology is like he says that all the time. You're good. Tarot, I'm not gonna remember. It's tarot something. Um, and he's always saying that. And but what I'm saying about that is because Jupiter is now in Cancer, so we're gonna have some nice little correlative vibration going on of expansion and possibility. I think right now we're feeling it more as restriction because we got squares with some passing energy with Saturn and Uranus. And so I think not Uranus, Saturn and Neptune. So that can feel like it's getting in the way of what you want to be doing in your life. You know what I'm saying? Um, with that dynamic in the same shape, 62 to 61, it can get a little hairy, right? Um, what is 62? Do you know? I know because it's my life's work. um, I let me give you the human design first because that's what you asked for. Is preponderance of the small. In the gene keys, is the shadow of intellect, is the gift of precision, and the city of impeccability. So SIDDHI being city, you know that girl, you know that. Um, but with that extra energy showing up in your north node, it's like that extra oomph of this energy, you could get even more lost in details and not paying attention to the bigger picture of where you're trying to grow and what you're trying to create over the long haul of your north node, right? Hey Carla, nice to meet you. And so what we want to do with that is essentially be able to turn that into something we can focus on. And usually that looks like creativity. So I've been talking about creativity for like the last week, y'all. I guess it's because it's up. It is up for now. And so whenever that happens, whenever something's up for now, we're getting that reflection to learn from or to support what we're trying to get done, right? So we've got that aspect going on from our sun and our earth being reflected in your north node and the south node. And then we have the moon in the 21st gate, which is, might be giving a little authority. Let's go back to your chart. Oh, you don't have it, but that's okay. That's okay. So it's in the 21. So it doesn't complete your channel, but it's going to give you that oomph. Okay. It's going to give you a little of the oomph of, um, let me see, what is that? Let me find that in the gene keys. Again, I like to just go into their resource library because I like having the shadow, the gift, and the city. I know, like if you've done the work, you know that it can give us really great reflections on what we're missing and the possibility of the energy. So I love to dive into that. Hey, Wilson. Um, so pulling up 21. Get some details going here. So transit is, and the moon is the shadow of control, the gift of authority, and the city of valor. So this is about moving into an open heart. The open heart is what gives us the will to complete the thing. And since you have an open will center, this is a little extra energy in the transit to feel like getting something done. Right? So that's useful. That's useful. This is Aries sign, so it can give you that extra energy. You know, you have a sacral, I don't know, defines sacral. So you can find the energy, but if you've been using energy on the wrong things, then it may be depleted. Just because you have sacral doesn't mean that you're not getting tired, right? You can keep going. And then the body's like, should you keep going? Is the question. That's usually what we're getting into the argument with on a daily basis. You want to finish your book, but house and home always need attention. So I'm pulled between those two things. Recently downloaded something in April. So, so yeah, so how we are approaching that motivation when you have extra energy, like if you're getting extra energy by a transit, the moon is a fast one, but there's other energies that are giving us some good extra energy. Jupiter, right? It's giving some good extra energy. Um, there's a lot of good things happening. If we lean on like what motivates us about that. And instead of when you have that extra ump of energy going and do another load of laundry, give your book another 20 minutes, right? Another hour. It's worth it. Right now, like, and this is hard to say because we've really been getting a lesson to like chill out for a few years now. But this is almost the opposite right now. It's like the more you're willing to put in, the more you're going to get out. Like, so I'm never one to say hard work works, but right now, like if you have the energy, if you have it to give, if you're in that season, use it. Use it. Because if you're anything like me, I'd rather like chill in the sun, like, or just in my bed with a book, right? That's my preferred state. So anytime you get these extra resource vibes of like we can get something done, we can get something done. I'm telling you, for this day, tomorrow, like well, the rest of the day we have for today, and tomorrow we have extra energy. We can get more done. Okay. Um, so I know that without even looking at the transits, because of kind of what I already looked up for the full moon and going into the new moon. So the other thing is that we have the North Node transiting in 22 and 47, and 22 is Pisces. 47 is the South Node to that. So that is, ooh, let's look that up too, because 22 I know it's like a occurs twice in my chart, but it's an interesting energy because it's really about how can we be gentle with ourselves. So, and this is that energy coming in with the North Node. It's like it is your job to be gentle with yourself, and why? Because when you're the shadow is dishonor, the gift is graciousness, and the city is grace. So this is, I always talk about this because it's my one of my main things. This is how I help people, is help people to be easy on themselves, while especially while they're creating, especially while they're creating, that you do not have to beat yourself up, right? You can get things wrong. It's okay. But it's the dishonor piece is if we're not honoring how we feel or how others are feeling. And the people that I know that are really sensitive, and you already have like some aspects of Cancer in your chart, this is not the only one, right? um, Whenever that's happening, then we can be sensitive to others, but not to ourselves. So dishonor is about being uh, being respectful of both, respecting how you feel, what you want, what you desire, and respecting what other people are feeling and wanting and desiring. But if you've already unbalanced that or overbalanced that to the things that are external and outside of you and not yours and not your creations, then it's a woohoo, like it's your turn. It's your turn, right? So let's see where that lines up and see if it completes any channels for you. You got 22 is oh, I lost it. No, I know where it is. Here it is. So 2212. So it doesn't complete a channel for you. It might make you feel more sensitive. So if it's making you feel more sensitive, that's all your it's trying to tell you something. In other words, it's trying to tell you to take care of yourself, right? If your attention is mostly going to the home, then it's probably the random people in your home, the randos hanging out in your house. So if that's the case, then and you'll know because if it's going too far the other direction, you're gonna get what? Frustrated. That's the indicator from human design. How do we know? 3/5s are quick to get frustrated. We be getting annoyed quick because they're ready for the next thing, right? And if you know you've been stuck on one thing for your own project forever, then you're ready for the next thing. If you're getting frustrated and you take that out on the home because that's what you think is more important, is it their fault? Right? So the more you take care of yourself, the more you can show up for others. We know that already. We've heard that somewhere. Somewhere in the ethereal way of being, we have heard that taking care of ourselves first is a good priority. um, let's see. 47 would complete if it would complete something. We're looking for those completions because that really, oh, you already have 47. You already have it, madam. Where do you have it? Do you have it in your Mars? So in the gate 47 human design, it's called oppression. I think I know which one this is. I think this is a Daryl key. It is. It's both. I mean, like I said, I have 22 two places in my gene keys. Daryl's my husband. 47 is the shadow is oppression. Yes. The gift is transmutation. And the city is transfiguration. So the question is, how are we seeing how we've overcome oppression in the past? And usually, if you have this key as part of your chart, it's because you know there's a way to think of it differently, and you learn that you can turn somebody else's impression of power into your truth of power. Ooh, you have it as your vocation. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, I can feel his energy. Well, if you can feel his energy, then you are sensitive. You know, sometimes the answer is in the question. He's a 2-4. That's the thing with fours, 2 4s, 4 6s. Those even number people ask me how I know. Um, they can make them it can feel like what they're going through is more important. Okay, because they do hold a place for the group. But again, as an empathic person, which is what that is, if you're mostly feeling somebody else, then you're picking up on somebody else's feelings. That's empathy, especially if you're feeling it yourself, or it's causing you to have to rethink or retrain who we're being, right? To react differently. So I'm trying to say, like, act somewhere differently because of how they're feeling. I used to think that about my sister, right? I used to think that about my husband, right? After 18 years, you realize, hey, I can't be in charge of his emotions all the time, right? So this is more about like, how are we perceiving that? How are we perceiving that? And if we feel like them being who they are is holding us back, that's usually a false perception. That's the oppression. Okay. And if this was somebody else and you were looking at them, you would be like, honey, what would you tell them? It's in your vocation, so you know how to help people see the other side of this. It's 2 4 2, and it's hard to be around 2 4s. It is. They're just because they are gonna naturally move into codependency if they're in their shadow. Depression's a symptom of shadow. So, like, and most of us are under stress. So if we're under stress, our shadow is going to be more likely if we don't have a way of self-regulating, right? So, whenever you're around them, it will be a new practice for you. Right? It'll be a new practice of coming back to yourself, seeing how you're feeling in the midst of the feelings you're getting from them, instead of just agreeing out of the need to like kind of help them feel better so you can feel better. That's being an empath is. We get tricked into playing that game because we just want to feel better. We just want to feel better. So we're like, well, if I can just make them feel better, I'll just fix them and then I'll feel fine. But it doesn't work that way because you never took care of your own emotions, right? It doesn't work that way. So whenever you're around people who have that, like 2 4, like 2 is gonna have that That's what they're living through, working through in their own life. How not to how to be with somebody without being dependent on them or taking from them or them taking from you. That's what they're here to learn. That's their life's work. Okay. So you being here as a 3-5, you're here to say, like, well, it can look different. It may look different with me than it does for your partner. It may look different with me than it does for you, the way you raised me, right? It may look different with me than the way you get to be with your friends, or, like, I'm not your friend. I'm your mama, right? And I'm not your friend. I mean, I obviously you can be friendly with your family, but you're not your mom's friend either. You're her daughter, right? That's your primary relationship. Without the balance of our primary relationships, we get into codependency, right? So if you're going to be friendly, you have to be just as clear as you would be with a friend. Listen, I've got this, and do. I promised myself I was going to write an hour today or Sunday or last week, whatever, to me set the time aside. And I have to fulfill my promise to myself, right? But unfortunately, even in our society, like in our society, we very, very hard on people. We're very hard on ourselves with friends. Like we think we're supposed to be in family with them, which is not the way that works, right? It's not the way that works. We are not friends. We are not friends. We're family. We're family, and then we can be friends, but not both all the time and twice on Sunday and Saturday, right? So that will help a lot. It will help a lot if you kind of rebalance those relationships. But also, I'm going to recommend my own work because it's just how I moved out of being drained every time I was around anybody, right? So that my work is the Oman's method. So this is just a practice of being able to entrain your own energy and your own vibration, regardless of what's going on around you. Okay, and that's free. You can do the watch the videos here on the site and the vocal lessons channel, and it's the first 4 steps. And yes, we do it mostly as a voice lesson, but that's what makes it fun. It's fun. If you don't, if you're not writing right now, then you might need other creativity to kind of walk you into it. A little humming is perfect for that. Maybe a little yoga. Your mom has core wound rejection and son core wound denial. My whole childhood, she was codependent of me because she had bad anxiety. Yeah, and she couldn't be or drive alone. And I broke free at 18. Yeah. But then you start building like very, very similar relationships. We know this again through Gene Q's work, right? You start building very similar relationships in your own family dynamic, right? So in that core wounding, right? That is just accepting because it's the same. It's interesting enough, I have 22-4 in my core wound and in my attraction key. So I guess who I invite to the table. People who are codependent, right? All that's like my whole thing. But that's why I'm good for them because I've lived this story, right? Yes and no. Okay. So, and that's the thing. So it's really a matter of like how much is enough. And it's really hard to feel rejected if somebody tells you straight up what's going on, right? I love you so much. You know how much I love you. Normally I'd be here, but I really want to get a chapter done on my book this weekend. Yeah. Um, and it's that same thing. Like that's so hard because that's not reflective That's the other side, right? If it was intergenerational, you would see it because would return, right? The other side is that denial is like that feelingness of um, that they can't get what they want from you. But you know, as we know in Gene Keys, there's nothing you're going to do to make them feel differently. You can sweat and bleed and end up in the hospital, and they'll still feel like you're not doing enough, right? They'll still feel like you somehow like got sick on purpose so that you wouldn't have to clean their laundry, right? Like that's usually how it goes. There's not much you can actually do about it. What you can do is be present enough to feel the love for yourself that they also feel loved. That's really the only way empaths can kind of really the they call it, I don't know, it's the cheat code. It's like if you feel super loving, it's like, oh my God, I love me so much. Oh my God, I love you so much. I love you so much. Can't help but feel it. And then it becomes, I love you so much. I'm going to write on my book. And they can't deny it because your desire is evident, your truth is evident, and they're just going to go along with it. They can't do anything but go along with it. Yeah, they really can't. What happens is once you've moved into that higher vibration, is like everybody's new potential is met just by you doing you. This is why we have to put our how we feel on the board, and we have to honor it. That's what helped me, is that knowing that if I didn't honor my feelings, I was being dishonorable. I was not being in integrity, mostly with myself, but even with others, because I'm acting like I want to be with them, and I really just want to be at home with my book, right? But if I can honor myself fully, and I'm fully in my energy, and I feel vibrant, then I can show up and be like, hey, yeah, well, I do have some things to do later, but I'm so glad that we got to talk. I do have a few, you know, I am running low on energy. I'm probably going to want to go home and introvert, right? But I would love to like catch up. Let's get like, tell me 15 minutes. Tell me what's going on with you right now. I've got 15 minutes, right? If you don't want to rush them, you might not want to say it like that. You might want to say it a little differently. Like but if you go deep quick, that's another kind of empath power. You've got Cancer in your chart, you got this Pisces energy. You got enough water, you're emotional generator, right? So you got enough water that you can just like go deep quick so that they feel held, right? And then just be, when they're in that held space, and they're fully seen and held, then you can be like, I'm gonna, I've been working on this book for a while now. I think I can wrap this up. Like, give me Saturday and Sunday. I'll talk to you on Monday, right? And this can be co-collaborative. They can become part of the team if we vibe enough. They can they can get on board, right? Help them feel like they're part of it. That's another great thing you can do with codependent people, like, because if they get input, like, hey mom, I have this part in my next chapter, what do you think about this, how do you remember this? Or um, you can include them, and if that helps. If you're a talker, let's see, where's your human design? Yeah, you have the throat chakra, you have the 62. So but what I find usually as a talker, as a 62, people feel like you don't need them. Okay. So that's something that I'm proud to practice myself, right? Um, Hey, where is this? It's a north node. Yeah, because it is important. But you have 62 too as well. So it could be a collaborative project. See, maybe you need them too. So if you need them to be a part of it or to be on the same page with you, it's like you're gonna remind me that that could be an assignment for somebody in the household. Um, right? Hey son, remind me on Saturday that I was gonna write for an hour, right? Um, you're always reminding them of stuff, I'm sure. So it'll give them an opportunity to remind you of something. Those are like my favorite turnarounds. Is basically like the things that, especially if they're getting older, teenage years, they don't want to listen to you. So you tell them how to be there to be heard, right? What I like to hear from you is a reminder that I need to write a book. Yeah. What I need to hear from you is dot, dot, dot. Let's get some bigger planets in here in this. So we have, where's Mars right now? Mars is 47 too. So that's that same thing. Oh, so that's that oppression, transmutation. You're gonna turn that, oh my gosh, you're never not in my face, right? Gotta turn that over into a different perception. Oh my gosh. Like when I see you, I remember I told you that you have to tell me that I need to write, right? Turn it into something that's useful. Um, the Mercury. Well, let's see how Mercury's playing with you. Like play with your energy. So again, doesn't complete a channel, but it does give you that insight into the heart space. Let me pull a Gene Key 7 up. I don't know that one very well. Oh yeah, I do know this one. I have a lot of clients with 7. So it's the shadow of division, the gift of guidance, and the city of virtue. So like so the habit, especially as a mother, right? The habit is to dictate, tell people what's going wrong and then fix it, right? So what you want to do instead is with this energy is to have a kind of that guiding perspective of, well, weren't you talking about I don't know, winning a new level of Minecraft? Like whatever, like because whatever they're passionate about is where you want to start with anybody, right? Whatever they're passionate about, whatever they are already sacrificing for, it's always a good place to start. And then you just kind of reframe it so it's useful. um, I bet you got that Aquarius energy. See, I was just talking Aquariuses up because I was like, I don't really know that many Aquariuses. And then Daryl was like, well, you know Cal. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I do know Cal. His passion is music. See, so y'all maybe can help each other be accountable. If he already knows, right? Well, you work on a song, I'll work on my book, right? It can be a partner in the creation. That's a nice way to change that two relationship, right? Instead of being codependent with each other. I was talking about this earlier, weirdly enough, on TikTok. I said, instead of being codependent, to be co-creative, like point that energy into a new area. I wanted to get bigger planets. There we go. Here we go. So we know Jupiter's playing nice. Saturn is not though. So let's look at Saturn and Neptune, which are conjunct at 25, and see what it's trying to do with us. we, we should all know this. This is for everybody. This is for everybody. Um, the shadow of constriction. I'm feeling that. The gift of acceptance and the city of universal love. So I'm going to read the paragraph here in the resource section of the Gene Keys. This is free and open to everybody. If you're on YouTube, there's a link in the chat. You can go pull up your own chart, and resource area is available to everybody. But once you have a sign in, you can, you know, be able to, well, I don't know if you know, maybe you don't know. You can click on your own chart and it'll tell you stuff. So if you haven't been to the Gene Keys website in a while, please do feel free to use my referral link. That's linked in the chat. So I'm going to read out the paragraph. Everybody's feeling this. It's a square between, that's going to be there for a little bit, between Saturn and Neptune conjunct against Jupiter. It's going to say, and you may be feeling this if you're in a Cancer energy or any water energy. Allowing is very powerful because it begins with the physical. Whatever we're experiencing in life, however hard, bring our awareness to our physicality. I think that's what we brings our awareness to our physicality, to the sensations and discomfort in our body. Never mind about our feelings or our thoughts, they'll come later. We begin with the physical. We just allow our body to feel what it feels. So this is big because what I'm getting from a lot of people is that they like there's high avoidance body right now. They do not want to feel their feelings. Why? Because we're stressed, because we're afraid, you know, there's a lot going on in the overarching systems, government, things that we really can't do a ton about immediately. We can do our part when it's time to do the part and to like show up and that kind of thing. But until we have those kind of places and opportunities, unless we're in specific fields, there's not much we can do about it, right? So, but in order for us to allow those feelings to move through, we have to feel them first. We have to feel them first. And then we can choose to, once we have our attention there, we can use our truth to let them move through, right? Because the truth is when we really feel into our discomfort, if discomfort shows up because we feel like we could die. That's like the short version of everything. We're afraid of dying. We don't want to die. So anything that looks like it might kill us eventually, we don't like it. And that includes the ego. That includes the ego, right? If we feel like when I put my book out and, you know, if nobody likes it, that will be like dying. If we feel that's true, we'll be afraid of putting our book out. And that's true for most of us in our creative aspect. We are very sensitive. Our egos are very sensitive in our creative aspect. Whatever you're passionate about, whatever you care about. That's what makes it so hard. That's why it's easier to play on YouTube and TikTok. Ask me how I know, right? It's easier because the more meaningful it is, the more our, do I really want this for myself? Do I really believe I deserve this? Do I really think that what I have to offer is valuable enough? Well, seven that's partly trying to anchor you in that G center of, yes, it is. It's valuable. It needs to be heard. So that's happening in this now energy, in this new moon. Could be me. Could be me, right? The reminders I'm giving you. So me, it's about keeping organized because I'm downloading so much information in a short period that I haven't stopped to embody it and then write again. Yes. So is there a faster way? Are you faster if you talk it out? So if you did a voice recorder and had like something transcribe it, like I don't know. Me and names. What's the name of that thing? I don't know. I use Cast Magic. I use Descript. If you put the audio recording in, it'll transcribe it for you, right? Or if you just talk, well, no, I don't think that's very fast though. So if you can, if that works well for you, I mean, you do have a defined throat center, so it may well, right? So if you just talk it out, then that might keep it flowing enough that it is embodied. You have a defined throat center, using your voice will be an embodiment. You I'm pretty sure I already said this. Yeah, 3-5, yeah. So through 5 in the purpose key in the line is voice. It's what's going to anchor the purpose of the truth of why you're writing the book, of what wants to happen. So I think we need to take that one to the bank. Try doing a voice recording. Yeah. Um, and because the voicing is embodiment. How do you, I do like to know though, what are your tools? How do you usually embody it? How do you bring it in? Um, I'm looking to see if there's anything on your chart that would show the 11, but see the 11, that's a tricky beast because it wants to be perfect. Yeah, it's that 11. So that's the shadow of obscurity, the gift of idealism and light is the city. That is in your chart. Yeah, we're done for the transit chart for now, unless you have any other questions around that. Um, and let me just see again how it shapes up. Oh, so, and then let's see if there's a way that we can activate the channel. 56, I don't know where that is. And we'll look at that next. Let's see. Sagittarius energy. So let's do this paragraph because I feel like it could be a key for you. If we have the 11th gift or are contemplating it, we can use the beautiful richness of the right brain visions and archetypes in our life to launch it onto a higher level. Right brain visions and archetypes in our life to launch it on a higher level. That is our greatest gift, to catch others on fire with the light that burns in our heart. Our gift is our heart, our love, our devotion. So again, in the shadow, we get bogged down by perfection and it becomes obscure, like what we're really trying to do gets cloudy, right? And if we get too far afield, um, our ego gets involved, right? That perfectionism that's crippling instead of enlightening. Let me look at the channel completion here. I think it's 56. Did I say that? 56, the completion. Let's look at that real quick because a lot of times the completion in the human design is going to fake you out. It's going to make you think that it's more important. Okay. So for the shadow side of the 56, it looks like shadow of distraction, the gift of enrichment, the city of intoxication. But we know what this is. Let's not play games. If you're a 3-5, this is distraction. Like this is straight up distract. You just get distracted, right? And what we think we're doing when we get distracted is we think we're enriching. We think it's good information because if I know this, that'll make my book even better, right? That is not your job. It's not in your chart. It's not the easy way through. Can it help? Maybe. And it's not the easy way through. Not for you. Stick to what you got. You got an 11, right? So just stay in your idealism. Whatever sounds great to you is perfect. And just speak it out. You know, say it with your mouth. Say it with your words. Yes, well, I embody it by speaking out my friend who also understands. Oh my gosh, I love it. I get frustrated. It's not perfect. Oh my gosh. If you're speaking it already to your friend, keep the recorder on. Like have it, or anything like me, you have a phone anyways. Download a voice recorder. They are free. Put them and just turn it on and chat with your friend like you usually do. If you're she's already or they're already there, a lot of times they're already giving you good feedback as well. They're also they're telling you what they heard, they're telling you what they like. And if you like talking about your project with them, then they're probably giving you good feedback. Usually we don't like it if they're giving us bad feedback. We're like, I'm good. I'm going to keep this to myself. But if we're in a shadow pattern, we could be talking to the wrong person. For in a shadow pattern, they become the reason why we don't bother. If they're being discouraging. So we want to be real with ourselves about that. Okay. So I think that's what I got for you. Did that help? Let me know. I'm about to bounce out. So if anybody wants me to pull their chart, you can also just put your information in and I can catch up for next time. Because I want to do more of these and then you can just come back to the channel when you're ready. So if anybody wants to just fill out the form for later, that is cool. That is cool. That'll work. You're so welcome, Deborah. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah. Yeah, hang out. Come by later. If we let me know how it goes. Let me know if you were able to set anything up to get a little bit more of that writing done. I feel you. I feel you. I'm writing a book too. I've gotten some preliminary stuff out of the way, but the organization is the hard part. It really is. That organization is the hard part for a 3-5. So got a system, and then I'm kind of letting myself be inspired, and then it can always come back around. That's what editing's for. That's what editing's for. You can reconfigure it later, right? 3-5s are good at that. Karen Curry Parker calls the manifesting generator a time bender. And I think of 3-5s like that because we're just looking for the right angle so that we can get the result. So we're like, I'll just skip this part. I'll skip that step. I'll do this and then get the result. When you have the result, then you can be like, okay, now I know I want to do this with this step. I want to do this with this step. And you can fill it out, right? That's how we kind of function. Yeah. You can prefix, yeah, just get it out, get it down, I guess, because you're talking about it. So that's good. A lot of people wouldn't talk about it. So you're talking about it already. Just get it down, record it. Yeah. We're good at shortcuts. So don't feel guilty about using the shortcut. Get a voice recorder. Yeah. And we often miss a step. Yesterday, I mean, this earlier today, we were doing the podcast and I thought I was recording and was not recording. So we had to do the whole podcast over. Now I'm like, oh, I'm tired. But that's what happens. We skip steps. So you have to forgive ourselves quickly and move forward, right? Otherwise, if we're trying to get it perfect, then we never get it done. Usually, I'm not saying everybody, but normally we just don't get it done. We just don't. So we like to see quick results. That's okay, right? That's okay. Get on the Brew voice recorder, get like see 10 pages done, right? And then you can come back and edit later and see what else you want in there, right? All right, Deborah. I think I'm gonna wrap it up for the evening on my side. It was good talking to you. Glad you dropped by. And yep, anybody else that comes by, go ahead and fill out the form and I can do the next one when I show up. So looks like tomorrow, maybe, I think I might be able to do tomorrow. But if not, I'll be in an event all weekend, so probably not the weekend. And I'll probably be recovering on Monday, so probably the next after that would be Tuesday. So I will see everybody then. Have a beautiful night. And thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time. Clicking on every button but the off button. You heard?